All right, today we are going to break down a framework that is completely changing the game for human resources. We're talking about HR analytics, and more importantly, how it transforms raw data into real strategic value. So let's jump right in.
Have you ever looked at one of those top tier companies and wondered, how do they do it? How do they always seem to hire the right people, keep them happy, and build these amazing, productive teams? Is it just luck, a gut feeling, or is there something else going on behind the scenes? Well, here's the secret sauce: HR analytics. In the simplest terms, it's all about using the information you already have about your employees to make smarter, better decisions. And these aren't just HR decisions, we're talking about choices that boost the entire company's performance. Okay, probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of the whole thing like a machine. It's a machine that takes in information about people, and on the other end, it cranks out performance and, yes, profit. Now, I know this diagram might look a little complicated at first glance, but it's actually pretty simple. This machine really just has three main parts. On the far left, you've got your human inputs. That's all the data and factors related to your workforce. Then in the middle, you have the HR engine. This is where all your HR activities like training and compensation live. And finally, on the right, you get your business outputs, the results you actually care about. The whole point of the engine is to create a clear line from your people right to those business results.
So, how does this engine actually run? I mean, data doesn't just magically become valuable, right? It has to go on a journey, a very specific 7-step journey or pipeline to turn that raw information into real action. And here's that journey laid out. See how it flows from left to right? You start by just gathering your data from different sources and getting it all cleaned up. Then you have to figure out what you're actually going to measure. But step 4, analysis, that's where the real magic happens. That leads to insights, which lets you make strategic decisions, and boom, that's how you get improved performance. It's a clear path from A to B. Let's actually zoom in on that critical 4th step, data analysis, because it's like a journey all on its own. Think of it as climbing a staircase. You start at the bottom with hindsight, just asking what happened. Something like, our turnover rate was 15% last year. Then you take a step up to insight, asking, why did it happen? Maybe you find out your best people were leaving because there were no growth opportunities. The next step is foresight, where you predict what will happen. For example, if we do nothing, we're on track to lose another 10% this year. And then you get to the very top, optimization. This is where you ask, what's the best thing we can do, and find the answer. Investing in this new leadership program will cut that predicted turnover in half. See? You've gone from just looking at the past to shaping the future. Now, when you start doing this, something bigger happens. It's more than just making fancy charts. It fundamentally changes the role of HR inside the organization. It really creates a whole new mindset. And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? Look at the shift. You're moving away from guesswork and hunches to data-backed precision. Instead of just reacting to problems after they've already happened, you can be proactive and prevent them. And this is the big one. HR stops being seen as just a support function and truly becomes a strategic partner at the main table. So what's the end goal of all this work? It's to create what the framework calls strategic balance. It's that sweet spot where HR and the company's top leaders are perfectly in sync. They're looking at the same data, speaking the same language, and working together to hit those big business goals. That's the dream. Okay, so let's bring this all home. If you're studying to build a career in human resources, what does any of this actually mean for you personally? Let's be really clear. This matters because this isn't just some abstract theory you read in a book. This framework, this way of thinking, this is where the entire HR profession is going. This is the future of the job. Because the future that you're stepping into isn't just about being good with people. It's about being brilliant with data-driven people strategy. Truly understanding and using these ideas is what's going to make you stand out. It's what will make you an absolutely essential strategic partner in whatever organization is lucky enough to have you.